Welcome to r/Entitled People, where we share stories from your lives about people who think the rules don't apply to them and they should get what they want. Thank you, friends, for subscribing to the channel and for so many likes. And today we have two great stories, so subscribe, hit the like button, and let's begin. The first story: did maximum work for the CEO, but it wasn't appreciated, so the whole department is getting ready to quit. The second story: EM causes scene and gets kicked out of restaurant for demanding to be seated before others. The first story is doing the bare minimum due to management and CEO being D's, a venting thread. Warning, I am not from the US. So there goes, 2 years ago, I left a good job with an SH pay because another company promised me the same job and more, and 20% more money. Found that job through a friend who worked and still works for a client of the company. He told me they had plans and stuff, so not a dead end. After going through the application process, I took the job and moved in late February 2020. You all can see where the first hurdle is in the distance. My current employer makes a technical product. Let's say it's washing machines. Basically, we buy brand new Chinese washing machines, stick our brand on, do some light custom work, then sell or lease them to clients. Leases come back to the shop where they're taken apart and rebuilt, then sold a fair bit over the price of used. We also rent machines for special events and sell used washing machines. When people buy washing machines from us, they can turn their old machines in. Those we either part for spares or repair and sell. Some big clients have upwards of 100 washing machines on site, so the company offers a repair service where you can either get your washer to the shop to have it repaired, or we can dispatch a tech to your house and repair it on site. The company is about 50 to 60 people all told. We're 4 in tech support and after sales with a team of 10 on and off-site techs. Not a big company, but not a small shop either. I came from the toaster business. Lots of stuff in common, but a bunch of stuff to learn. I have a background in technical stuff and client interface, so my job is tech support for the company. When we get a special washing machine in, I get all the manuals and point the techs in the right direction. For the clients and after sales, selling accessories, parts, and whatnot. I had a fair few years doing that in other industries, so once I got the gist of what I was working with, I was operational in about 2 to 3 weeks. So I get there, and in early March we get sent home because of COVID. Crossing fingers, few of us were new, and they could access right then and there. Didn't happen. We were put on administrative leave and reduced pay, thanks to a government program. At some point we go back, and as the phone isn't ringing and the office is running at 10%, I'm sent to the shop to work as a quality controller. No issue there, small company, everyone has to do their part, etc. Get along great with the techs and shop management. Learn a lot of stuff about the gear we sell, good marks all around. Then everything reopened, so I went back to the office, finished training. Then new lockdown, back to the shop to help, and so on. Starting in March of 2021, after clashing with the management over getting moved around every week, I was put back in my assigned seat as tech support. My direct manager had been asking for me to get back ASAP as they were swamped. The CEO had told the whole service that considering our leading position and the closure of a lot of the competition, we would swoop in by offering tech support on more and more brands on top of our own. So while in the office, I dug in and extended our knowledge base on every brand of washing machine we came upon, piling up parts manuals, tech manuals, and putting together my own documents to send to the techs so they know what to look out for, etc. In that I was backed by the off-site techs, who all come from competitors and know a fair lot about specific American and Japanese models. On the side, I discovered that the purchasing department is useless, as the one gal working there has no technical knowledge, doesn't really want to learn, and has multiple other absurd jobs, like folding and putting away work uniforms for the workshop. And she takes about 30 minutes off her work, twice a day, to make tea for the open space. It's nice of her, but meanwhile, purchase orders are usually piling up, and she'll answer that she's swamped while looking at water boiling. On the other hand, the parts shop kept messing up orders. They were also completely useless for parts orders, through the aforementioned purchasing department, so the workshop would come to me for parts orders to be stocked up. Consequently, the after-sales team took it upon themselves to help in any capacity. Again, small company, everyone trying to make things work, etc. At the start of summer 2021, the after-sales and tech support team did the following jobs that are not supposed to be ours, on top of our regular duties. Ordering parts for the workshop and parts shop, quality control on all outgoing parcels, checking that parcels have actually been given to the shipping companies, contact with suppliers to get prices and delivery times on specific parts, so we could send out estimates in a timely manner. Checking with suppliers that their pricing hasn't changed. Checking with the parts shop that special orders have arrived, those who have to be shipped to clients. I'm probably forgetting a few, but you get the gist. We're doing a lot of extra work that falls outside of our job description. On a personal note, I put the company devs in contact with some of my own contacts, who wanted to work with us to no avail. They called back a few times asking what's up. I ended up having to tell them that clearly the company wasn't interested. I also came up with a few improvements to the washing machine models we sell, and got shot down. Twice because we need orders before prototypes, which is absurd. They could have simply said no money for prototypes. Once because it's old tech, we don't go back. Then they took my idea to the Chinese and had them develop it. And no, it's not something worth raising any fuss about, as it's just reworking an older tech into the new models, but it still stings a bit. And the latest, I was told that if we applied my idea, the clients might want to buy it, and we don't want to bother. The first 3 were solutions to an existing issue with our models. The 4th one was destined to have a few nicer custom models for display. Anyways, with all that hard work, the department was up by over 10% for 2020, and we're up 20 to 30% for 2021. First job I've had where a 10% increase in sales is the norm and not an outlier. When we told the CEO, he didn't congratulate us. He basically told us, meh. Then we had a company-wide meeting where they told us that we're getting a bunch of new contracts. They're super happy with the rate of production, and also no bonus and no raises for 2021 and 2022. There are extra factors in the way the no bonus and no raise bit was received, very badly, that I won't get into. Let's just say the company money is used for more than company stuff. And last week a salesperson from Ford was in the building, and not to sell us replacements for the company trucks and vans. We also took hits for the various things we were doing to optimize the company. I was personally criticized for parts order for the workshop, orders that nobody puts in otherwise. We took a hit for stopping up on some parts that we need for tech support and that we sell by the bins to clients, with a 35 to 40% markup as well. We were told that clients can wait, direct quote. In late 2021, when supply chains are crumbling and stuff we could get inside a week before is now back-ordered 6 to 10 weeks. I took a hit for parts that had been ordered for a client, but then his washing machine came back as needing more repairs, and the client just binned it. And we sold him his new 3 washing machines. So I got a bollocking for $200 worth of parts when we got a $45K contract. Contract we got in part because the client is happy with our tech support. Plus the parts in question are already basically sold to another client who has about 15 of the same model machines. Got a bollocking for not standing at attention at our desks while checking on the parts parcels. Not the same part of the building. Got told that we can't ask anything from the suppliers directly because it's not our job. It's the tone of people fearing we were trying to get contacts with the suppliers so we could open our own washing machine shop. And I got a massive heard by all bollocking because apparently I wasn't doing enough of a markup on a part coming from the US. I argued that I was making the usual, and they told me some SH about the exchange rate. I got a bollocking about the fact that dollars to euro can't change our markup because we're already doing 10 to 15% due to that exact exchange rate. We usually take the price the supplier gives us in dollars, put the markup on it, and change the sign to euros. They put the order through, but the fact that there was a 30 minutes argument about potential hundredths of a percent on the margin infuriated me enough that I had to go take a walk. With the comeback of trade shows, a lot of positive stuff came back from clients, which we heard about through our techs that were on site. Then on the last one, 2 clients, out of a few hundred, complained, and that one we heard about right away, as the sales team complained to the CEO, so we became instantly the most incompetent team ever. Turned out the client's claims were utter BS, and the issues was with communication. Not about work done. Needless to say, nobody came and apologized, and the sales team didn't bother removing their complaint. So at this point, the whole department, management included, is just running the basic minimum. We're all on not my effing job mode. I'm in talks with other companies to jump ship, maybe creating my own, but in another field, and my direct boss is looking elsewhere as well. The running joke inside the service is that we should all put in our resignation at the same moment. It's infuriating because I feel like I was sold something that wasn't true 2 years ago, and the feeling of not being trusted to have the basic competence of knowing my job. And also the fact that with a bit of leeway in work we could actually become leaders for real, because of a quality product and tech support, not just because we basically have a monopoly on 85% of the country. A monopoly we have, I might add, because we're the only one to have an actual tech support staff. Peeves me off to no end. The second story is, EM freaks out and gets kicked out of restaurant for not being seated fast enough. So this weekend, me and my sister were starving, and so we decided to go to our local chain wing restaurant. Me and my sister walked into the lobby at the same time as this family of 7 alongside an entitled mother, an entitled father, and 5 kids. They walked up to the counter and asked for a table for all of them as we walked behind them and asked for a table for 2. We went to go sit down as the entitled mother and father started talking loudly about how they hated the long wait times. The wait times could have been shorter if they booked a seat in the app, but the father had said it was a marketing scheme to try to get his information. Our wait was for 25 minutes, and we had to sit down next to them as the mother screamed at her kids because they were talking and using their phone. The whole time, the mother and father would walk up to the counter and ask the waitress how long their wait was. After the 25-minute wait was up, the waitress got us some menus and asked us to come with her, and we walked with her to our table. We got halfway to our table until the mother walked up to us. Here's the dialogue for the following interaction, as we left with the waitress for our table. EM: why are they leaving before us? Waitress: because they have a smaller party? EM: okay, and? We have small children. We need to be seated before those teenagers. Waitress: ma'am, I understand, but you need to sit down. After I seat them, I'll be able to seat you. EM began to walk up to the waitress and get up in her face. Waitress: ma'am, please sit down. I need to sit them. After they are seated, you guys will be our top priority. EM: I have small children. They're getting impatient and they need to be seated. Mind you, her children didn't look impatient at all. If anything, they kinda looked sad. Waitress: ma'am, I understand that, but we're a bit busy right now. Please go sit back down. EM: no, my children are starving and they need to be seated. Waitress: ma'am, if you had used our app, then you could have possibly been sat down a bit earlier. At this point, the entitled father had walked up to the waitress and stood next to the entitled father, and they began to both argue with the waitress. Entitled father: me and my family have been waiting too long, and my children are starving. You need to sit us down before these brats. We have small children. My sister: look, you guys are acting like a-holes. Both of you just need to sit down and leave the waitress alone and just wait. It's not gonna kill you. Entitled father, who was getting visibly angry: I don't give an F. You aren't a parent, so you wouldn't understand how hard it is to take care of young children. So you wouldn't understand, B. My sister was about to flip out on this guy, but I was trying to calm her down before this guy left in a body bag for calling her a B. Waitress: sir, you will not talk to other patrons like that. Go sit down before you're asked to leave. Entitled father, now clearly peeved: go get your effing manager. This is the worst customer service I've ever had. The waitress was peeved, but she went to go get her manager as the father was fuming and walked around the store in circles out of rage. The manager came and they immediately started screaming at her, as me and my sister started to laugh at how ridiculous the situation is. Manager, who barely knew about the situation, walked over to where the entitled parents were and started trying to help. Entitled father, who seemed to be in relief: thank God, this B. Manager: whoa there, you aren't going to be using profanities inside my restaurant. You need to get out of here. Entitled mom: we aren't leaving until we eat. We have small children. Manager: I'm telling both of you politely. I understand you guys have small children, but there are plenty of other places you can go to. You need to get out before I call the cops on you guys for trespassing. This seemed to scare the entitled parents, because they gathered their kids and ran out of there. Eventually, the waitress was able to seat us and we gave her a $20 tip. No one deserves to have to deal with an entitled parent. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.